Morning, friends. Welcome back to Maddie's Mind. So, I deleted that creeper farm. And the skeleton, he's gone. But my AFK spot turned into the security shack for the factory. This is the palette I'm going with, guys. I just started. I'm just freestyling this. I have no blueprint or plan I'm working off of. I've just been looking at a bunch of different pictures of factories. Different types of factories: steampunk, solar punk, cyberpunk, modern factory. I've looked at more pictures of factories in the past few days than I have in my whole life. Just for inspiration. You guys keep getting stuck out here in the water. It's so silly. Why do they have them pathfind into the water like that? I don't understand. But anyway, this is what we're looking at here. So, I might change this up a little bit. I'm waiting for it to oxidize to see how it looks. I could have just made some of these with oxidized blocks, but I didn't really think about that. But yeah, I went and cleared out. There's a trial chamber right by the nether portal. I went and got a bunch of blocks from there. I didn't clear the whole thing out. I just did a few rooms. I got so much copper from it and all of these bulbs that, I wanted to get started here. I went to the 100 Masons spot where the Infinite Emerald Farm is. I haven't showed you guys that yet. But I went there and got a bunch of bricks, because most of the building's going to be brick and copper. Going for a deep slate gradient for the roof, for the roof outline. And then maybe oxidized copper mixed in on the roof. I'm not sure. But for this entryway here, I wanted it flat. Because right on top here is going to be an office. Maybe like the CEO's office or whatever, with a little balcony that comes out here. You can look out, over his empire he's building, his fireworks empire. And have a balcony here that looks out over the water. But yeah, so this will be, let's walk through it here. Road coming this way. Turn into the parking lot here. Security check-in to get into the main entrance. I gotta figure out something to do with this. I'm not gonna leave it just grass. Maybe either the pattern or just polished andesite floor. Maybe a bench or something here. Little statue or something. I'm still in the planning phase, guys, but this is just a rough outline of getting started here. So, entranceway, probably glass on the sides here, double door. Might go with copper doors, since we're going for the copper build. And then this will be like the greeting area, like I said, where, waiting room, reception, I guess you'd call it. Maybe have some kind of menus, visual display where you can place your order for the fireworks. And then I need to talk to Anoan to get all the rest of the layout, but basically you're going to be able to walk in. I think this will be the shulker unloader, where you unload all the stuff that you need, for your fireworks. And then everything else is all going to be automated factory stuff, guys, with a courtyard in the center. I'm excited to start on that because I have a really cool fountain build in mind with the colored glass, like I said. Well, okay, I'm stuck between a fountain or a tree, and I have good ideas for both, so I'm gonna have to think about that. But I wanted to show you just the beginning here. I'm gonna grind it out for a bit more, see what I can come up with for some kind of repeatable pattern. It's not gonna be the same the whole way around, but certain little parts of the wall, or like this building, the wall face might have the same pattern on it, with a couple little details, like random details, like gutters coming down or something that make it different. But you know how buildings usually have that repeating pattern where the windows are in the same place. They have like fascia and the gutters and all that stuff. So I want to just get that idea out so that I can start replicating it and then adding detail and expanding it. But yeah, so you can kind of picture the size I'm going for. If the entranceway is this tall, the second floor is going to be, up another 4 or 5 blocks probably. I didn't I didn't stack that up as tall as I wanted to go yet. But that'll give us a lot of options in the back to make things bigger and taller if we want to add, you know, a silo or something, or a tower. You know, it doesn't all have to be just the size of the machines and the farms. It could be bigger just for aesthetics. You know, if I wanted to add a big tower in the middle, it doesn't have to have anything in it. You know, we could figure out something to put in it, but just getting it built would look really cool, I think. Something like that. Yeah, guys. I don't want to ramble too much and make this too long, so I'll bring you back in a little bit when I have more done. I started to farm some jungle wood because I think that looks really good with the different copper. It looks good with all the copper colors. Like, it has all of the copper colors in it, just about, right? Except for that final oxidized greenish. But it looks really good next to that. So that might be coming into play. Maybe some trapdoors and fence posts to detail things. Yeah. See you guys in a little bit. Got a bit more detail on this. Went with polished andesite floor. I think most of the building is going to be wrapped with this slab. Like I have here. That's going to look really good. And then I went with polished deep slate accents here. Not sure what that is, but, you know, just decorative, whatever. Copper bars up there. White stained glass for the window. I might add color to this since we're at the fireworks factory. But yeah, I'm liking this, guys. It's gonna look. This is a good palette. It's gonna look good at scale, you know, on a big build. I think so. We'll see. Gave this guy a railing up here, and yeah, that's it. You know, it's been maybe like 20 minutes since that last clip. The torch flowers, I think that looks really good with the copper and brick. One of my favorites. Yeah, get these guys oxidized up. What do you think? We like this? This will be the main color palette, I think, for most of the factory. I like it. And for the floor here, I might come back in and add some texture. Like, I think I have some smooth stone. You know, I'll mix that in. There's some blocks, but yeah, we can just check real quick, see how that looks. Poke you in here and there. Mess it up a little. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like light gray concrete powder or something. But just a few little spots here and there just to add some variation. Always looks good, right? Then I want to figure out, might put some shelves. I don't have shelves on me. Might put shelves here or some upside down stairs with flower pots on them. And I know this is a factory, but I also want to kind of incorporate some solar punk vibes. You know, have a little bit of overgrown feel. Have some moss around, you know. Yeah, we'll see how that comes together. I don't want to go too crazy with it. Like, I don't think I'm going to have vines all over it and moss hanging off of spots. But maybe, who knows, guys. This is how I like to build. You know, a little bit at a time, see what works. Have ideas along the way. You know, it's not all planned out ahead of time and set and ready to go. And this is going to be fun, though. It's going to be a fun build. I'm already picturing it. Already picturing it wrapping around. You know, the chunk borders here, that's just where we want certain things, you know, that are going to be functional. But I can extend the building out. It doesn't have to be right here. So if we want like a big outdoor patio area or something, maybe where all the employees come and take their lunch break and there's like a deck here, we could do all of that stuff. That's fine. But for the factory itself, it's going to be this palette. You know, nice big flat wall. Not flat, but, you know, detailed. At least. And I'm thinking maybe here I'll come out with like a deck or something. But for now, we're going to get some more of these walls up. Get Anoan some space to start working. I also have to stop being lazy and I have to get down in here. I don't think I showed you guys this yet. don't have water down here, so I have to be careful. But this is that crazy cave I was telling you about that's super low down. Oh no, this is not that one. That's another one I fell into, but here we go. Okay, I got so lost in here, guys. You know what, actually, let's make sure I can find this spot with some nice bright green pillar right in the middle here so I don't miss that scaffolding when I fly by. But yeah, let's take a look at this, guys. Maybe it ends here and goes this way. Yeah. Look at this. It's like one of the dune worms just came through here and destroyed. Oh my gosh. Whew, spooked me there. Jump scare. But yeah, it keeps going. Keeps going past that stuff. I think. Let's see. Yeah, it does. It goes all the way, guys. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. I forgot how long this was. I went through like 2 stacks of torches just on this. Look at this thing, guys. Chunk loading. I didn't even make it this far. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get lost again. But yes, I've never seen a cave like this before in this game. I've had a few big ones before, but nothing like this, guys. It's so big that it doesn't, like, you have to load chunks. It's crazy. Oh, I'm lost. Oh no, okay. Where was our pillar? It's gonna be somewhere soon, right? Oh my god, did I just run out of rockets inside of here? I did, guys. How do I get out? Oh, I'm gonna have to pillar up. Okay, that's fun. I don't think I have them in the ender chest yet. Nope. Oh man, I was filling up a box. I was gonna have a box ready to go, and I don't have that yet. I'm gonna have to pillar up using something, my bricks probably. Great. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to show you guys that. The craziest tunnel, or craziest cave system that I've... Oh. Oh, I forgot I went all the way down to bedrock. Oh my gosh, guys. Let's show the viewers the cave almost turned into Maddie dying in a hole that he can't get out of because he doesn't have any more rockets. Okay, guys, I'm gonna pillar up out of here like a champion. So crazy. Why did I do this? And I'll bring it back when I make some more progress. Okay, so progress has been made. But you might notice I had to move the entrance. I wasn't really aware of how all of this was going to work. You know, as far as like loading all the chunks and stuff while we're in here. But now I know, like, if we want everything to be loaded at the same time, we can't stand in these corner chunks. Sim distance, it loads 4 chunks out. Or 4 chunks around you, right? Okay, so that's my understanding at least now. So the entrance being there wasn't going to work. We moved it to the middle. That gives us like a 2 chunk lobby for when we walk in. It's going to be big and open and have a perfect view of the courtyard straight ahead. So the fountain's going to be pretty much right where the beacon is. But when you walk in, you'll see the courtyard and the fountain right there. That'll be cool. Speaking of the fountain, underneath the fountain, I cleared this out by hand. It's 15 blocks down. We're going to have the auto crafter systems here. And we're trying to figure out a way so that when we want to drop stuff off, like all our ingredients, we can just walk up to the fountain. And there will either be barrels on the 4 corners of it, like hidden in the floor. You throw all the ingredients right into there. Or maybe, depending on how tough it'll be, we'll make it so you can just throw all the stuff right into the fountain. And it'll drain into the system. That'll be cool. Yeah, so this is what I got so far, guys. This is the color palette I'm going for. The patterns. Got the symmetry going on each side here. I'm not done detailing this. You know, I might put something up on the wood. Or maybe, you know, drain pipes or gutters or something. Just a little more detail on the flat wall. And then these two big tall sections on each side. I'm stuck because I don't know quite what to do, guys. Part of me wants to do like a big pixel art firework rocket on each side. I think that could look cool. Or huge windows. You know, I'm kind of torn. And then I'm also stuck with up here, because I left it open to have windows and a doorway. You know, if I do my CEO's balcony idea that I mentioned. But if I want this to be all open with something in it, there's not going to be a second floor up there. Those will just be windows, right? So I'm not quite sure what to do. I got to think about it a bit more. But I know once I figure out the floor in the lobby, which that's another thing I'm stuck on. I actually spent a couple hours. I had a big floor pattern. I was trying to make it look like a fireworks burst made out of different colors of copper. And then a black floor. And it just didn't look right, guys, so I tore it out. But once I get the floor in, I'm putting a vending machine refill station right here. The one that I added to my B-Dubs world. I want somewhere to fill up my rockets and carrots real fast without having to open any chests. You know, to break the immersion. So, vending machine's going right inside. And yeah, I just have to spend this morning figuring out what's going in these voids. I might wrap this around and start this wall. Or the one on the other side, just to give us a bit more idea of how big this is going to be. But, you know, my heater just turned on. Sorry, guys. That time of year is a little too cold for the fireplace right now. I'm going to go ahead and pause, give this a thought. I'll bring you back when I figure something out or I make some progress. Hey, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. It is Christmas morning. It's been a few days since that last time I recorded. I had family over, so I wasn't able to talk. But I've been grinding, guys. I've been working. I didn't want to be rude enough to sit there talking openly in front of everybody. But I was rude enough to set my computer up and grind out a bunch of Minecraft while we were watching Christmas movies. So, once I sleep, I'll show you what I got done so far. Got quite a bit. You can see I got the rockets on the front here. I think they turned out looking pretty awesome. Got one on each side. Because this ended up being 6 blocks wide. Like each of the rockets is pushed to the edge on one side. So that's something that like I notice, but hopefully other people don't notice it too much. Would have been nice if there was a gap, you know, a space, but I would have had to redo everything. But you can see, same thing on this side. I did a bit more detail. Trying to think of a few more things to add. You know, once I get the roof on there, I might put some gutters that come down. But as far as the build goes, I got all the corners done. Get up high and get a good look. I got all the corners done because that ended up being just kind of like a repeating pattern here. Same as the front. You know, it doesn't have to get too intricate and detailed for just a factory build. But the middle sections here, I haven't quite worked it out yet, guys, but I'm pretty sure I want them to be taller. Okay, so it'll be 4 taller parts on the sides. That way I can do pitched roofs really easily. And the roof, I think the roofs will end up looking a lot better like that. It won't just be one big flat roof surrounding the courtyard. Does that make sense? Alright, now let's have a look in here. First, I got rid of the texture I had down here. You know, it just was starting to annoy me. And maybe if I come up with a good pattern or something. But I also want to get some benches in here. So once those are in, it might have a different vibe, you know. But I ended up hanging just some lights here. Real simple. It's just a hopper, a chain, copper bulb. Then I put some signs on the outside. And I was going to do some of the ASCII code symbols. But that stuff just takes so long, guys. I didn't want to waste hours just to, put some stars on a sign. So I just went with equal sign. Dyed it orange and made it pop with some glow ink. I think it just has a interesting look, right? All right, so when we come in here, guys, this is still a work in progress. I might change it all, but I'm kind of happy with what it looks like so far. So we can see down below, this is going to be a testing box where you can test fireworks. I have a couple chains down there that catch them so they blow up right at that level, and it looks super cool in the floor, guys. Instead of having like a testing room or something, we put them right in the floor. Just thought that was a unique, fun way to do it. But part of me wants to just get rid of that whole box completely and just have fireworks coming out from all over the place down here. Just going off, all over different heights. Some shooting sideways, maybe. Yeah, so I'm still thinking about that. Not quite sure. But I love this idea, though, of being able to see down to the different levels. I have a copper golem that's just walking around. Looks like he's, on the job working or something. He's just endlessly pathing around between all the chests. Sometimes he cuts through the middle here. Sometimes he takes the long way around. So it's pretty cool, pretty random. I had two doing it, but they ended up knocking each other off. So one ended up getting stuck down there, and he was just, idle, not able to reach a chest at all. So I went with one. I might try to figure out how to get one on the second level. Maybe he'll be looking for a regular chest instead of the copper chest. But for now, I think just the one alone adds some life. And then once Anoan sets up, this will be the die selector over here, I believe. Once he sets this up, like, it won't be this solid wall right here, there will be barrels and access ports, like buttons to push stuff. I don't know exactly, guys. I looked at everything he has, and that's where that's going to go. Like, we won't be walking in there. We'll just have an interface for that chunk right here, where we drop stuff off, and then it gets sorted and crafted. Same thing with this side. So no doorway that leads over there. This will just be... And my vending machine might actually be in the way. I might have to move this. But for now, this is where I got it, so I can just refill my stuff real quick. It's a 20-second build. If he needs me to move it, that's fine. I can maybe put it here or something. But for now, I like it. It's in the lobby. It's a vending machine. Eventually, once he's done and I see how much more room I have, then I can know where, like, I can put a desk, like a welcome desk or something up here. Maybe some chairs or something. But yeah, this is what I got so far. Put another walkway up top here. Doesn't really lead anywhere except for this door. But eventually, maybe I can have a path that cuts through and goes all the way around, or maybe it'll come out here and cut across the courtyard. Because we're still torn on what goes here, guys. I'm thinking, first I was thinking fountain or a giant tree, but the tree won't really fit because we're gonna do the same thing with the glass here. Because here is gonna be 4 giant universal auto crafter systems. I might have said that wrong. It's some kind of auto crafter system that looks amazing. I'm pretty sure it's unique. Anoan invented it. 4 of them here, and I want people to see those. So it's going to be a glass floor again. So that kind of takes the tree out of the equation, right? Because trees don't really grow out of grass, and if I have like a little island floating in the middle of it, that would look weird. So I'm still brainstorming ideas for the courtyard, but we'll get there. Goes down really deep. I brought it down a bit more for him, so he has more room. And eventually it'll all be textured walls like this with whatever extra room I have. I'll make little pipes coming out of the wall, and try to bring it alive a bit more. Same thing with this wall back here. Since it's kind of in the back, and I don't think we'll have anything that's needed over here, I'm gonna go for flat wall, just textured, and then pipes and machinery coming out of it. Okay, so I mean, I was kind of spacing it out. There should be enough room for like 6 big pipes that start about that level. You know, they come out a few blocks and then bend down and go down into the ground. We could do that, and then maybe in the middle, like some big, like transformer looking box with some gears on it or something. You know, that would be cool. So those are my plans so far, guys. That's what I got. I haven't done anything over here with the circus yet. I've just been focused on this. I want to get as much of this build done as I can so that Anoan has space to start building all his redstone stuff. Yeah, a lot of work. Big, huge build. I don't think I've ever built a single building this big before, guys. No, I built Planet Dragonod's Hogwarts Castle a few years ago. I know I told you that. But that was, you know, that took me like 6 months, and I did a little bit here, a little bit there, and it was following a tutorial. This is all off the top of my head, in survival, brainstorming, and trying things out. If it doesn't work, I deleted it and tried something else. I've never done a project like this in survival that's this big, guys. And I think it's going to turn out to be awesome. I can't wait. I have ideas for out here. You know, I think I said this already, but I want to... Like, I just love this view, and I think the employees, the employees that work here would appreciate that view too. That's why there's so many windows. So while they're working the assembly lines, you know, they can look out and feel a little bit of hope while they're toiling and working in the factory all day. But I was thinking, you know, some kind of employee entrance here that leads out to a big patio with like a barbecue and some chairs and stuff. That'll be their outside break area, maybe. And just give me something else that's fun and detailed to build instead of just being factory walls. And then this one over here, I haven't quite figured out what to do with it. Maybe more pipes. Maybe like some big industrial like vats or something. You know? Not quite sure, guys. Not quite sure. Gotta work on that. But what else? You know what? I think I did. I showed you this cave down here. Right? I'll have to rewatch the footage, but I'm pretty sure I showed you that big windy cave that was down there. I haven't done anything with that yet. That's about it for the factory, guys. Okay. So the only other thing you missed, I got tired of running around looking for dye when I needed it, or just going to Anoan's base and stealing his dye constantly. So I built Omledu's bedrock flower farm down here, and I'm starting to stock up on everything. The first round of stocking that I'm going to do is going to be for the Realm's main storage system. I'm going to get a shulker box of everything in there for them, for everybody. And then I'm going to start stocking up my own. Because one idea I had... Wait, I didn't show you this. Okay, so I need to mark out the chunks, but the cactus farm that I want to build, I'm pretty sure I can just put it right here, guys. That is a lot of space already cleared out. If the chunk borders line up, you know, we can go from 23... Where'd that skeleton come from? It's all lit up over there. Dude should not be there, man. Oh, it's a little dark spot right here. Grab a torch. Was that dark enough? I don't know, maybe. Guess you never know in caves. I was standing up here earlier. After I built the flower farm, I was standing right here. And everything is super lit, guys. Like, I went around and looked after this happened. But a creeper just blew up on me. Scared the poop out of me. I was facing this way. He blew up all the shulkers here. Luckily, none of them got destroyed. But big hole right here. You can see the grass is still regrowing. And it just scared me so much, guys. Like, such a big jump scare. And I don't know where he came from. Like, I was looking around. There's nothing. No, like, little ledges up there that he could have fallen on. Like, everything should have been lit up enough. Right? Because even this little dark spot, that's not dark enough. No, there was nothing under here. It was all lit up down here. Oh, is it maybe just this spot right here? He spawned like right here, guys, and then just wander around and come up. Probably, and then he saw me right here and just walked right towards me. Maybe that's what happened. But yeah, it happened, and it scared me. I definitely need to take some time to get some mob switches in. I don't need those. I have so many bones already. I've never noticed this before, but when you're in a big cave and your render distance is low, like I can tell that it's night outside, right? And during the day, it's bright. See, sleeping through the night. Then you'll see it get bright. Look at that. I'd never noticed that before. I don't know if that's some bug with the new lighting stuff that they added in this update, but it's actually really helpful. When I was down here, I could see it was getting dark, so I went and slept real quick. But yeah, I have like everything we could get from the flowers so far. I need cactus for green, sea pickles for lime. I started some cocoa beans, but these are annoying, you know. Might have to just make a big, huge one and just get a whole bunch in one little farming session. Yeah, now what else is there, guys? Black, that's going to be Wither Roses or Squid Ink. I think they have a really good squid farm on the server already. And so here, look, these are the ones I still have. So black, green, lime, magenta, and cyan. So, magenta, I need to make the 2 tall flower farm. I'll just tuck that in right here. It's pretty small. I think it's like 3 blocks wide or something. Sea pickle farm. I might build one of those maybe over here. I could just flatten or add some blocks here, make a little flat area. But I kind of like this little pool here. I might leave this. Goes down pretty deep. It's crazy. Yeah, guys, that's where we're at so far. It's Christmas Day. My family's been here for a few days. Everybody just went home to see other family and stuff, so it's just me and the dogs. I have no problem with just grinding out on this all day today. I'm going to see how much I can get done, see if I can get any more ideas for the lobby, maybe for what to do up here. But yeah, I'm loving this build so far. It's going to be awesome when it's done. The aesthetics and the function are all going to be here. You know, it's going to look like a crazy mix from like cyberpunk, steampunk, solar punk. I don't really know all the difference between those, but we're just going to make this a big punky punk. That's not a thing. But yeah, all right, I'm rambling, guys. I'll let you go. I'll bring you back when I make some progress, or if I think of something fun to show you that I'm building. You know, like I try to do. I got a couple ideas. You know, I need a wind launcher over here to get me up and down real easily, or we might just do the Happy Gas launcher real quick. Build one of those. It goes from here up to the top. I want to start working on the circus too. I have some ideas, guys. I have some ideas for especially this. I want to get this little gladiator pit going. Bring some camel husks out here with the spear guys on them, and maybe zombie horse. And then we can have like, I don't want to spoil it because it might not work. It might not work. We'll see. But it's going to be fun, whatever I come up with. Don't worry. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, good morning, guys. I find myself hiding in a hole right in front of the factory. I was waiting for all this sand to turn into glass. And I had to AFK, and I wanted to make sure I didn't die. So I just dug down into a little hole. I'm sure you guys have done that before at some point. What I need right now is orange glass for my cactus farm that I started. I'm going to bring you with and show you what I got so far. That's enough to get started, and I got more dye out here. I also, wait, I haven't done anything different here yet. Oh, wait, okay. So, this wall in the lobby, guys. First off, I deleted that black box. I think that was here when I showed you last. We're going with the golems walking around down there, lighting off fireworks all the time. This stripe, I'm changing. I don't like the blue and yellow. It just doesn't go with the copper. I think I'm going to do copper. Maybe deep slate down there. But that was just supposed to look like that safety stripe that's in the factory floors. Doesn't really work though, right? Just like the first version of this wall that I had, which was a huge skulk wall and then a glass multicolored fireworks burst that I tried to recreate, like, you know, make like an art piece. It took me, you know, probably close to 2 hours to make it. And I just didn't like it, guys. It ended up looking like a palm tree. I tore it down. Tore it down. We're going with just a brick. Put another walkway up there. You know, eventually kiosks and desks here, stuff like that. Some banners maybe. And then I already told you the interface for something. I think it's the die selector where you pick your colors for fireworks will be over here. Something over here. This guy just keeps stealing my carrots because he's in here all the time. And I can never say no to him when they walk up all happy like that. But, alright. So yeah, ignore this for now. Next time you see this, it'll be totally different again. That's how my brain works, guys. I think we talked about this, but I just try something out. I'll see if I can live with it, if I like it. If not, I delete it. You know? And now there's someone else involved. Like, this is my first collaboration project where I'm working with somebody. And I'm having so much fun. First off, it's awesome. You know, this guy Anoan, he's a genius at redstone, and I'm learning so much from him. Even though when I hear people talk about advanced redstone, sometimes it puts me to sleep, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It gives me a headache. Feels like I'm back in math class or something. But I love the passion that he has for this stuff, and I'm trying to learn what I can. Quick little too tall flower farm. I'm dumb, and I think this is a Java version because it didn't really work. So to make it work, I had to do like just an observer clock, and I have to put the observer in every time I want it to run. So that's kind of silly, but it works. I only need it for this one flower anyway, so I got all the magenta dye we need. I also put in Omladu's sea pickle farm, and I got a bunch of sea pickles already ready to go. This is mine right here, so that's not a lot. Actually, I need to run it a bit more for me in the factory, but I have a whole shulker box full over there for main storage. Because, like I said, I'm trying to stock up all of their stuff first. So all we have left is cyan, green, black, and whatever the other one was that I said, I forget. But Cactus Farm got started down here. I only have 2 layers done so far. Not even done all the way. I had to get more glass. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, guys. I'm going to finish this up. I got to clear this. Once I get up there, I got to clear more of this out of the way. But we're going to just take this up as high as we can. Depending on the materials I have. I didn't count to see how many layers we'll get. But it'll be a decent amount. You know, it's more than I've had. I've had no cactus. Now already we are getting cactus. What is this? Like something in. A block that's stuck in there. I just pick it up? One of these maybe? Oh, it's in there. Do you see that? Oh, there it is. It was just floating on top. Okay. But yeah, I'm just going to grind this up this morning. Get as much done as I can. I'll bring you back when I have this either done or if I move on to something else. I got a lot of plans for today. I need to make a lot of progress. Ouch. Alright, guys. We're in a little dirt box hiding. Been AFK for about an hour. Wanted to see. I have 8 layers of the cactus farm done. I had to expand this little collection thing. I think in the guide it was 1 block wide. But cactus kept getting stuck on the wall. I made it 2 blocks wide, and then they kept getting stuck on the wall still, so I made it 3. And they don't seem to be getting stuck anymore, so hopefully there's not any losses. But let's see what we got. Well, that's not bad. You know, I mean, cactus grows pretty slow. But, I mean, if a couple few nights AFK, sit here, you know, maybe get some other AFK farm going. But that'll give us enough for the fireworks factory. Like, we won't need an endless supply of this stuff constantly. We just need a good amount of green dye. You know? Yeah. So I don't have anything else I use it for, really. Maybe some glass for builds. Terracotta occasionally, you know? But mostly it's going to be for fireworks. That's the only reason I built such a big one. And this isn't even that big. I could have, you know, expanded it out to the back or the sides and did multiple layers or went down farther. But I think this will do for now, guys. We'll see. You know, I could always maybe rebuild it somewhere that's going to be loaded more often. But I don't know. I think this will work. I think this will work. We'll see. But next up, I am going to get my nether portal situated over here. I think I mentioned this already, but I want to have it out here, guys. Like, I'm going to level this out more. This will be the road that leads up to the factory, you know? And then somewhere right around here will be the portal. So when you come out, you know, you turn and just see the factory and head towards it. You're not stuck over there looking for it. Yeah, and then parking lot here. Security gate, check-in thing. So that's my plan for today. You know, I woke up, did that cactus farm, and then I kind of looked at this for a bit, and I wasn't really inspired on how to change it, how to make it better yet. Oh, I'll get there. Somebody burned up here. You know, like I said, I want to get rid of this stripe. Maybe go for copper and deep slate. Maybe regular andesite floors, so it looks more like a worn concrete floor. I don't know. We'll see. I might have to try out a couple things. And then as far as the rest of this build, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little stumped. Not quite stumped, but stuck. Little. Not really stuck, but slowed down maybe. I don't know. Like I know on this wall, I told you I want to have some pipes coming out, machinery, you know, maybe a smokestack that goes up. Something similar over here on this wall. More pipes, wires and stuff. You know, like boxes that could be transformer boxes or something. But what I'm stuck on right now, guys, I can't really quite picture it. You know, I'm gonna have to, like, I think it's gonna come down to I have to get to the point where I start the roof to actually see how the roof's gonna work out, because that's like I don't see it yet in my mind. You know, it could go a few different ways, and if you mess with roofs in this game, you know they could be a pain in the butt sometimes. And I don't want just a big flat, you know, boring, like industrial roof, commercial roof. This building's gonna have character. So, like I said, I think the middle parts are gonna be taller. Like this is gonna actually go up a bit more, another level, and then pointed roofs that connect to these. So maybe start with a slab here on the top of this block, a slab that goes all the way around, and then do your slope with stairs. Either stairs or slabs. We'll see. I'll have to try. I'll have to mess around with a couple different things. And this is such a big roof, guys. It's going to be a lot of trial and error till I get it right. You know? But what I found with those kinds of big, huge things, if you set everything up right, you know, if everything's the same distance apart and you have a good idea of what you're going for, it usually just works. It fits together. Everything lines up, you know? And if not, you just have to move a couple blocks around here and there. Maybe hide an ugly corner with a little tower or something, you know, but there's ways to make it work. And I think this is going to end up looking really cool once we get there. I'm going to do a gradient of copper on the roof. Not really a gradient, but more texture with the different stages of copper. And then deep slate around the edges, kind of like I did down here. It won't be like an awning like this. It'll just be the trim, deep slate trim all around. And then the center will be the different stages of copper. I think that'll look really good with this build. We'll see. Yeah. Man, this is turning out to be such a fun project, guys. And I don't really quite know what else to do with it, you know? Like, that. It's going to be another one of those ones where we just add things as we think of them. You guys leave me some good comments. Maybe I'll, you know, put that into effect. You can see the space we're working with here. This is going to be a big, huge courtyard. We still haven't quite narrowed down what to put in it. So if you have any ideas for that, let me know. The lobby, fireworks going to be going off in the floor constantly, like a display or testing, you know, if you want to test specific firework. I'm going to have barrels up here. You can throw the fireworks in the barrel. It'll feed it down to the copper golems. and they'll walk it over to the chest that leads to a dispenser, and then it'll fire off your firework. So you get to see everything in action there. I think that'll be awesome. Okay, guys. I'm going to pause this recording for a bit. I'm going to think of something that we can build today for this one. Hey, good morning, guys. Just got done mending all my stuff up. I have to dig more at the factory, so I went through all of my tools. These were all almost dead. We are in Epic's Quad Guardian farm. I wanted to show you guys this. Turn these off so you can hear me talk now. So yeah, there's 4 killing chambers, 8 trident killers. It's pretty impressive. This is what I've been using to mend all of my stuff since I got here on the realm. Just because it's very convenient, guys. You know, you just stay in here, suck up all the experience. There's anvils for your gear. The item filter system's down here. So much prismarine stuff. So much fish. Like here, this will give you an idea of how much stuff they've got from this farm. This is all fish, guys. And I doubt this is everything that they've saved. But so think about all of these shulkers of fish. How many prismarine blocks that equals. It's crazy. Oh yeah, so let's take a look at the outside of this real quick. And then we'll head back over to the factory site. I want to show you the parking lot I built today. Yeah, pretty awesome. And it's right next to his epic base too, so it's really easy to get to. You just fly right out here, and there's his base. Pretty sure I showed you guys the outside view of this. Gosh, it's so awesome. And he left our lawn ornament too, which is cool to me. Like, this wasn't annoying to him. He didn't get rid of it. He left it here, which is awesome. Okay, guys, I'll see you back at the factory. Okay, so first up, we have a new portal. Leads to a pretty cool spot. And you'll see that right now. So you step out and you're right here in front of the factory. I think today I'm going to get the road in. I want a road that just goes off there and kind of disappears into the distance. I don't know how far I'll take it though. But yeah, so this is what I got for a parking lot, guys. It's not completely finished yet. And I'm still thinking about these lights. Very super simple design, guys. It's literally just wall and then a frog light. No other detail. But I thought they looked pretty cool. So I'm leaving them for now just to see if they, you know, annoy me after a little bit. And then I'll get rid of them. But for now, I really like them. So they're here. And then right here in this middle part will be a security shack. I haven't thought of a design yet. You know, it ended up being, looks like it's going to be a little bigger than I had planned. Unless I put like walls here on the edges. And then put the shack in the middle. But yeah, so picture road. You know, road coming up this way. And then it's just going to, like the road will dead end here. Like there will be barriers or whatever they're called right there. And yeah, you could turn into the parking lot. Or come out. I might put gates in front of it, I think. I'm not quite sure. I got to think about this a little bit. Might just leave it like this, guys. You know? I mean, who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And I don't think I showed you this yet, but I changed this floor out on the bottom here. I'm going to see how I like the polished out diorite for now. I like this strip in the middle for sure. That's going to stay, but this might change to andesite and stone mix or something, or you know, some textured mix that makes it look more like a concrete floor. But we'll see, because they're kind of like this. You know, it looks like clean factory floor. We'll see. But yeah, so digging. I had to dig out these 2 chunks over here. And I got to finish this one here. Pretty sure there's a cave over here, though, because I keep hearing zombies right in that corner. I wonder if it's a spawner, actually. Like, every time I get to this corner, I hear zombies. There might be a spawner over there, which would be cool. But yeah, because there's going to be the giant auto crafters here. And they ended up getting a little wider than Anoan thought at first. So they're going to extend out into these chunks. But that means he can start building them at the end of the chunk towards this way, and that'll give us a big open area in the center that we can put some kind of display, or something down below where we see the golems working or lava flowing or something. But it'll give us more of a clear area in the middle to build something like that. So that's what we got, guys. I think the parking lot actually looks really cool, when you come out of the building. I'm going to put some signs right here. One that says Maddie, one that says Anoan. Maybe this is the Employee of the Month spot. Or the Golem of the Month, we'll call it. That's perfect. Yeah. I do have an idea for a little build that we could do right now, but I think this episode's already too long, guys. So I think I'll save that one for the beginning of the next episode. Nothing crazy special. We're just going to add some life over to this side of the build. I want to put like a little balcony here with a fake door, it won't be really usable. But a golem, it'll look like a golem came out and he's walking on the balcony dumping out lava buckets. And then I'll have a dispenser that spits out lava into like a pipe, and it looks like it'll go into the ground. It's going to be cool and silly and just add some more life to the build overall. So we'll start next week with that. I hope this is okay, guys. I know we didn't really build anything on camera this time. It's been the holidays. I was a little busy, like I said. But I did get a lot done. I want to share that progress with you. And we're just going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing on this factory, get as much of it done as I can before I move on and start at the circus. Because I do want to start at the circus, guys. I got some awesome ideas for that. But until then, see you next time.